Hey guys, it's Adam Parker Bailey. This talk I'm going to do is on metaphysics, the paranormal, and pseudoscience. So as far as pseudoscience goes, if you are a scientist and you say something is a pseudoscience, but don't actually look into it and do any research on it, then you're not a scientist, and that's completely unscientific. The idea that you'd be so closed-minded just because you think something's a pseudoscience is ridiculous. Things like, for example, astrology. It's been very corrupted over the years, and the astrology that most people see today is nothing like what the original astrology was. But you can understand astrology scientifically. We all know that the sun obviously affects us, it affects everything that happens to us. The moon also affects the tides, it affects our emotions, affects all of that. So I don't understand why people think it would be any different with any other planet or star. These objects are very large and have a particular vibrational signature, just like every object, and give off particular energies. Depending on how close or how far away and where they are in the heavens, they will express different vibrations and different energies here on the planet. That's why when you're born in a particular place, the particular configuration of the planets and the stars at that place and time that you're born has a particular energy signature frequency. And this is how it's determined what your natal chart is. The stars and the planets are not above you, they are inside you. When you look up at the stars, you're actually looking into your own inner consciousness and the inner consciousness of humanity. This happens to be what the Mayan calendar was about. The Mayan calendar was just them studying the particular energies that are present on any particular day. And in that way, you can figure out the probabilities of what will happen on that day, depending on what particular energies are available. Astrology, the tarot cards, the throwing of the bones that some African cultures do, it's all the same thing. It's all the same art. It's all studying the same things, the same archetypes. And our universe it's made of fractals. It's a hologram, which means that each small point contains the entire picture. Everything is a resonance of everything else. So if you take a particular plant, and you look at the leaf, and you look at the shape of the leaf, there is somewhere out in the universe a galaxy that is shaped like that leaf. It has to be. It has to be that way. Even if you just spit on the ground, the way that your spit lands has a direct resonance with a particular constellation up in the stars. It has to be. It has to be that way. It can't be any other way. This is how all these things work. Now, beyond that, sorry, I almost got in an accident. Beyond that, There is no such thing as metaphysics. That is a ridiculous term. It's just physics that we don't understand yet. We are gradually learning more and more and understanding more and more about physics. But we really need to start understanding hyperdimensional physics, or we're just going to remain lost and not understand these things. Things like telepathy, magic in general, all these things can be studied scientifically. It's really just a manipulation of electromagnetic and radio frequencies and things like that. As far as paranormal goes, that's another ridiculous term. The idea that we have created for ourselves this tiny little box of quote-unquote normal experiences is absurd. Anything that's outside that box is paranormal. But in reality, strange, unexplainable things happen all the time, every single day. One of my favorite books is a book called The Complete Works of Charles Fort. Now, what this guy did is he took every single news article and magazine and everything he could get his hands on and wrote down every single documented case of something that happened that was very strange. And the book is huge. It's a massive book. It's completely filled. I could literally talk for hours, maybe even days, about all the strange stories that have happened. You know, we have this, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it just makes us feel more comfortable, this idea that we have it all figured out. That, you know, we're on top of things and there's no mystery left in the world. But that's just not true. Not at all. There's so much we don't know and don't understand. And so many strange things that are happening all the time. And it's very frustrating to me to hear all these scientific types talking and being so close-minded to all these things. Being close-minded is the complete opposite of being scientific. And to just write something off as a pseudo-science or paranormal, it's a cop-out. These things need to be studied and they need to be investigated. Things like vampires and werewolves and all these things, people need to realize that these are things that have been carried through time, you know, over and over again. We just keep hearing these same stories. I can't just make up some kind of monster and then have it persist all through time. It doesn't work like that. There must be some validity to these stories. Even our own science today is so flawed. It's ridiculous. And I hate it when people jump to these extremes. Darwin's theory of evolution has so many holes in it. And even Darwin himself admitted this. It's basically just used by the elite as justification for eugenics, really. And problem is, when you try and speak out against evolution and say like, no, the data's not fully complete, there's still a lot of things that are unanswered, people automatically think, oh, well, you must be fucking a religious person trying to say that the earth is 6,000 years old and yada yada yada. Or vice versa. And that's not it at all. There are a lot of unanswered questions that need to be explored. that's mostly what I want to say about that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later. Go into more detail about certain things. But that's it for now.